I'm so sorry. I was taking a selfie. Okay. Oh. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you all have a great day yesterday, and personally, I had a great day. I talked to a lot of people. They all said it's been doing great, which is really good to hear. Before we kickstart everything, I would like to first introduce one of our visionary sponsors. And I was gonna wait till tomorrow to share numbers about stats about the conference, but the truth is our sponsorship number is lower this year than compared to last year. And I get it, and technology industry was challenging. People are reprioritizing, and therefore, personally, I feel really grateful for companies who committed to sponsor us. It shows to us where your priorities are. So I'm really glad for that. So thank you so much. And so the first sponsor I would like to welcome on stage is Meta, and Dino Phelan will be up here. Please welcome Dino from Meta.
Hello, my name is Dino Veland, and I'm a developer working at Meta. I work on Cinder, which is our internal build of Python, and I've also been a core developer since 2010. I'm super happy to be back here at PyCon this year. At Meta, Python is a critical piece of our infrastructure, and I'd like to tell you about a few of the things that we've been working on over the past year. That includes PyTorch, Pyre, and free-threaded Python. PyTorch is one of our most commonly used libraries for developing deep learning software across the industry. Meta has played a key role in its development since its initial development and the creation of the PyTorch Foundation. Meta continues to invest in PyTorch and uses it as our primary framework for AI and research application and production applications across the company. With PyTorch, developers can build complex models and perform advanced experiments with ease, making it an indispensable tool for researchers and practitioners in the field of machine learning. Meta has also continued to invest in its type checker Pyre and is working with the Typing Council on typing conformance. Making types work well across the various type checkers is key to keeping the rich ecosystem of typing safe across packages. Static type checking helps developers catch errors early in their development process, improves code quality, and reduces bugs. Pyre provides a type checker which scales to huge code bases and huge development teams. We use it at Meta to both type check Instagram, which is a very large code base, along with our mono repo, which contains a huge amount of Python as well. In addition to preventing costly errors at runtime and in training pipelines, we've also seen that using type checking makes code reviews go quicker on well-typed code bases. And lastly, but not least, we've been investing heavily in bringing free-threaded Python to life. You might know this better as the No-GIL project. The global interpreter lock has long been a limitation in multi-threaded performance, and it's made developers really resort to convoluted ways to make their applications work and scale. For the last several years, Sam Gross has been figuring out all of the tricks that we need to make free-threaded Python work and succeed, and now he's been leading the team at Meta, along with a bunch of external contributors, to bring this to life. As of Python 3.13 Beta 1, it's now experimentally available. So we believe that'll unlock many new opportunities for developers to natively utilize concurrency and make their applications simpler and scale a lot better. There's still some remaining single-threaded performance issues that we're working through, but we'd love you to try it out and give us any feedback you have. This is just some of the truly groundbreaking work that we've been working on over the past year. We're also super happy to be a visionary sponsor again of PyCon and the PSF this year. We're really happy that we're supporting Lukash and his developer in residency program for the 3rd year, and we're really happy about the ongoing support that the industry has provided to that team. So I hope you come and see us at our booth. If you have any more questions about what we're working on, we're at booth 501, and I hope you all have a great PyCon.
Right, thank you, Meta. Again, my name is Mariatta. I'm the conference chair. Something I forgot to mention yesterday is that this barcode is actually points to my slides here. So if there are information that you want to see again, you can scan this. And I learned how to generate the barcode using Python through, when I went to PyTexas, I attended PyTexas online. Somebody mentioned this library, Segno, S-E-G-N-O. 2 lines of Python, well, 3 with the import. So I've been using it. And again, thank you everybody for being here. And again, thank you for all the staff and all the on-site volunteers, green room. I've been asking around. Everybody seems like things are moving, things are going, you know, green room for staff, session chairs, online experience team, hatchery, all the summits. Thank you so much for everybody for helping out. And, you know, I heard we broke another record, which I didn't even know exists. Let's see. So on the Mastodon, there's an account that aggregates Mastodon posts from more than 50 conferences, and it says, PyCon US broken the record for the most posts on a single day of the conference with 198 posts tracked as so far, and the previous record holder was FOSDEM with 162 posts. So I know FOSDEM is also a large conference, so well, great job everybody. Again, our official hashtag is hashtag PyCon US, so you can still, maybe we'll break some other record, I don't know. And yesterday we released PyCon US 2024, and it's been great. I know it's been a successful release, though I did notice there was some misinformation. I realized we have some undocumented features, and after hearing Lynn, I feel bad. So let's do a patch release. If you think of yesterday as 2024.0, and now maybe we're on 2024.1, and these are the release notes. So open spaces, yesterday I had it written as outside of the expo hall. Actually, the sign-up board is outside of the staff room upstairs, 306, 307. But it seems like you all found it. If you haven't, it's up there. It's actually also at pycon.us/os online. I did not mention this yesterday, but there's a swag pickup a booth right outside this room. You can get your T-shirt that you ordered, Charla's T-shirts as well, and they are there until tomorrow 11 a.m. Any unclaimed T-shirt will be for sale between 11 and 1. There is also free sticker sheet that you can get and free coloring book. The lanyard, we actually have 3 different kinds of lanyards. So the default is the purple with snakes and bridges. If people are wearing the rainbow lanyard, that means they don't want their photo taken. That means if you don't even need to ask, can I take a photo for you? Just don't ask, and also don't put up their photos online. Please respect that. And yellow lanyards are the COC responders. Okay, and another feature I didn't announce is that actually if you look at the back of your badge, and I feel bad for not mentioning all of this because he actually put a lot of effort. So at the back of your badge, not only there is a challenge card, but it has a list of the things you registered for, like if you registered for the summits, luncheon, T-shirt, it's there, as well as the COC reporting info and the challenge card. So do flip it out and take a look. And one of the most anticipated events at PyCon US is the PyLadies auction that's happening tonight, which the event, it has a cover chart, includes dinner and drink. It's a live bidding event, as mentioned by Maria Jose yesterday when she, in her video, the point there is really to show support to the community. And so I wanna, just thank you in advance for your support. And thank you to our coordinators, Doug Napoleoni, Lynn Root, and Jackie Kazeo for coordinating all the donations and running the event. So the one thing I really want to highlight here is that a custom-themed cuckoo clock, that it comes in this giant crate. There's no picture of it, but the description is this. It is a classic German Black Forest cuckoo clock reimagined through the lens of Python in a pop art style. While the function, structure, and aesthetics are an homage to a traditional cuckoo clock, the creatures, color, style, and personality of this clock are all Python. The working clock features battery-powered quartz movement and an hourly cuckoo function with a Python replacing the bird. And in case you're wondering, yes, the Python still says cuckoo. So I'm looking forward to that to result. And the expo hall actually, so today is the last day for all the booths and the PSF booths. If you haven't been there, it actually has a selfie station with props and lots of stickers. And go check out all the sponsors. I got some swag myself. I am wearing socks from one of the sponsors. So that's my pro tips. You don't need to pack socks, just pick up socks from the sponsors. And the startup rows are still there. I believe the rows are different than from yesterday. So check them out. Oh, there you go. I don't know. Yes. Who knows which company is this? Streamlit. Oh, all right. Yeah. Cool, thank you. Feels like celebrity. All right, and the community booths are there too. Yes, that's just to show the PSF booth. There is a giant 18-foot giant purple snake. So go take a picture. Thank you for Dan for taking a picture for us. And if you've been doing the challenges today, you can begin claiming your reward at registration afternoon. If you want to clap if you completed 20 points, woo, great. Ice cream for you. Don't wait, they're again limited quantity. And again, our code of conduct, the information is at the back of your lanyard. There is a website, and you can write to us, pycon-us-report@python.org, and find anybody with a yellow lanyard if you need to report an incident. And we have 3 more keynote speakers. Still, Simon Wilson will be here soon, but right now I would like to welcome the D&I panelists to the stage.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for staying here. Is it still a bit early? It's 9. So thank you very much for attending our panel. And this is the D&I Workgroup panel. I'll be hosting together with Georgie.
Hello.
Yes. So thank you so much again for staying here. And I'm going to introduce myself before we meet all these amazing people who are here with us today. So hi, I'm Debora. Part of the D&I work group, also on the PSF board of directors. I'm from Brazil. I'm one of the co-founders of PyLadies Brazil, which is the largest PyLadies chapter in the world. Um, yeah. I've organized several local PyCons as Python Northeast, PyCon Brazil. So it's really a pleasure to meet you all here today.
And me, my name is Georgie. Both of us have two similar traits. So we are both in the DNI work group and in the board of the part of the board of directors. And I don't want to bring back like where I'm from because it's gonna go way too complicated. But in general, I was previously living in Thailand, and now I'm actually living in Amsterdam. It took me like about 12 hours to fly here. Not that bad. Yeah, so I'm really excited to see everyone here because I've never seen like PyCon US is like really one of the only chance we can see everyone coming together like that. And so before we introduce this wonderful community organizers here, I'm going to just let every one of you who has no idea what DNI work group means. It actually refers to diversity and inclusion, and it's, let me read because I couldn't remember, I'm very bad at that. Where did I miss it? Okay, here. Okay. So the DNI work group purpose is to further improve the PSF mission to support and facilitate the growth of a diverse and international community of the Python programmers. And we actually aim to recruit global representative of the work group, and we advocate for to improve the insights and on behalf of all the local communities here. So Deborah, why don't you just let us know a little bit about like what we're going to talk about today?
Yeah, so for this year's panel, what we're going to do is that we invited people from different countries, continents, and we're going to hear their experiences about community organizing. So we're going to find out if you're facing the same challenges, what are their stories behind them. So let's hear from them. Abigail, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Abigail Misoringa-Midogbe, and I'm from Ghana and been involved with the Python software community in Ghana and different parts of Africa as well. So if I were to have traveled from Ghana to here to PyCon US in Pittsburgh, it would have taken me between 20 to 24 hours to get here, but I got the privilege to actually do a road trip from Cincinnati because I currently live in Cincy. I did that with some awesome people, and we had this road trip. We took about 4.5 hours to get here. So I'm excited to be here and to be able to share. Thank you.
Dima?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Dima, and I'm come from Indonesia, the other side of the world. And it took me about 25 hours of flight, the flight only. And if I include the transit time, it takes me about 36 hours to go from Indonesia to here. And I'm the organizer of PyCon Indonesia. Thank you.
Jules, what about you?
Hi, y'all. My name is Juliana Barros Lima, but you can call me Jules. I'm also Brazilian. It took me about 9.5 hours to get into Pittsburgh. Co-organizing PyLeads Received Chapter. I'm also co-organizing PyLeads Brazil. And currently, I'm also the head of marketing at the board for Associação Python Brasil, aka Python Brazil Association.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mason Egger, and I'm from Austin, Texas. It took me about 4 hours of a fairly uneventful flight, which is how I like my flights. Because last year it took me 24 hours to make a 4-hour flight, and I didn't enjoy that. I'm currently one of the organizers of the PyTexas conference and meetup, and also the president of the PyTexas Foundation, which is the nonprofit that supports the Python community in Texas.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica Greene. I use she, her pronouns. I'm based in Berlin, Germany. I mean, as you can hear from my thick German accent, I am not German, but that's where I live. And I didn't quite come from there to this conference, but if I had, it would have been around 12 hours. I am a community organizer predominantly for PyLadies Berlin.
Isn't this wonderful to get everyone here around on stage? So let's start with first question because we come a long way, all the way, not only distance, but literally time. And I'm really interested to know like how each one of you actually started and how you actually get involved with the community. So I would like to start with Dima because I got to know him in 2021 during a time where I organized PyCon APAC, and it was one of the hardest events to coordinate because due to pandemic and things, we try to get people coming together, and Dima was one of the best supporter for the PyCon APAC community. So Dima, how do you actually get to know, started this whole thing?
Okay, thank you, Georgie. It all come back to 2019 when it's my last year in college. I got volunteer in PyCon Indonesia 2019, and I got amazed because PyCon is somewhere that there are people who wants to learn something, and then there are people who wants to share something about Python. They meet each other in PyCon, and I'm amazed and I'm so grateful to join there. And for the next year, I was waiting for the next PyCon, but there's no information about it, so I asked the organizer, hey, if there's nobody who's gonna do it this year, can I just do it? And then from 2020, on my second PyCon, I became the lead organizer of PyCon Indonesia, and up to 2023. So that's, I just can't stop helping people meet each other in PyCon.
Wow, that's amazing. How about you, Abigail, on your side?
Thank you, Georgie. So I first actually got hands-on Python experience in 2017 at my first Django Girls event that I attended in Ghana. And around the same time too, I was encouraged to attend the next Django Girls event and then also help other people learn Python and then also build their first websites and all. And I did that, and just around the same time, so I joined the Python software community in Ghana, and I was entrusted to do some tasks, which was leading PyLadies Ghana, being a part of PyData Ghana. And I mean, for me, my journey has actually, that particular journey set the tone for what I really wanted to do in tech. Because at the time, I didn't know where I fit in tech and all, and so I was just exploring. But I found that I was very much interested in community building. I was very much interested in bringing other people along, bringing people together to learn Python, and then also think about ways that they could also find job opportunities and then also grow in their careers. So whilst I was carving a career path for myself, I was also bringing other people along to do same. And I really found joy in doing that. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. It's great to hear because it's funny to observe, very interesting to see that some of us here on this panel have started out with Django Girls tutorials or with PyLadies chapters. I know I have started in 2013, oh my God, 11 years ago. Learning Python at school, and then with other girls from Brazil is starting out our chapters. And Jules is also from one of the oldest PyLadies chapters in Brazil, which is PyLadies Recife. So what's your story, Jules?
Okay, I think PyLadies Recife is the second oldest chapter in Brazil. I joined circa in 2016. I was still as a biomedical engineer. I wasn't aware about software developing. I joined to just learn the language and to stay for the community. So I work as a clinical engineer, and then I went back, and years later, PyLadies chapter has provided me a huge support when I decided to transition my career. So meanwhile, when I joined to co-organize, they taught me about leadership. They taught me about to provide some training and guidance for newcomers. So it's really amazing in the end, like newcomers become even more engaged and just like you did. And the best part of it is the chance to give back for free things that helped you in the past. Like you also received for free for the huge effort for people who come before you. And giving back, it's really amazing. It's kind of challenging, of course, but it's really amazing. It's really great to see your community flourishing.
Yeah, it is. What about you, Jessica?
Yeah, and what Jules said really resonates with me. I mean, also what Abigail said. So I call myself a community/self-taught developer. So being part of the PyLadies and the Python community got me a job and got me to the point where I can be stood here as a machine learning engineer, which I'm pretty happy about. And I think like one of the things was when I first joined, I thought, I don't know anything about programming, so how could I possibly contribute? But the thing is, there's so many things that you can do to help in the community that really everybody can get involved. So I think it's, yeah, what Jules said was really meaningful.
So let's get a little bit closer to where we are right now, Mason, because I know you started PyTexas and that was like a big thing. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so PyTexas was an interesting one. I got involved in the community in 2019, speaking at the first conference, and decided that, oh, I really like this, I want to start organizing. But the PyTexas conference had been around since 2007. To our knowledge, the PyTexas conference is the oldest regional Python conference in the world.
Wow.
So whenever I decided to start organizing in 2020, started getting all of that ready. We were an early spring conference, and we all know what happened in early spring of 2020. So we kept pushing it out, and then eventually, we had a virtual conference, and we weren't able to come back in 2021. And then, I really missed the community. I really missed seeing my friends. I missed it. And I saw a lot of people within the local Texas community really yearning to get back to this. So I decided to continue organizing and basically entered a rebuild period. So instead of starting something, I came into a very well-established thing, but it had been, dormant for a few years and had to rebuild from the ground up from that. And I'm happy to say that, after 3 years, we have finally surpassed our 2019 numbers. So we had more people at PyTexas this year than we ever have in our entire history.
Woo! So great to hear that. Yay, it's so inspiring to listen to all of you. But we know that what makes us move forward. But we know we also have some challenges. We all face some challenges with community organizing. So Abigail, what do you have to tell us about the challenges?
Yeah, so thank you, Deb. First of all, I think that starting a community is hard, and even sustaining it is even harder. And when I started out with being a team lead for PyLadies Ghana, I didn't have any handbook. There was no guide to show me how to start, what to do to maintain my community. I would just say that it was just us coming together and then listening to the voices of our community members and trying to find out ways to provide value. So that was like a very hard thing to do. And also the issue about resources, it was extremely hard to also find resources that we could rely on, which is why I'm excited to have started the Books for Techies initiative. And shout out to Anthony Shaw for bringing us some books as well. We really appreciate it. And also generally, personally, putting the community aside, it was hard for me to separate doing community work from my day job that pays me. Sometimes it can really be hard because you're so much involved with the community such that you want to keep going and keep going. You don't know when to stop or pause. So that was actually very difficult for me to navigate. Yeah.
What about you, Dima?
Okay, not so different from Abigail, but when I start my first PyCon, when I lead it for the first time, I was thinking that how can I do this? Because I feel like I'm alone. I need to search for people. I need to search for sponsors. I need to search for money to do the conference. And it's really hard if you do it yourself. So luckily, Python community is very amazing because as the time comes, people coming also, and then sponsor is also coming, and then the money is also coming. And especially when I was thinking about how can I afford to do this, how can I afford to do that, when I'm looking for help, I know that PSF is offering grants for us to hold the conference. So I was asking them, and they immediately sent the money, and it was really helpful. So turns out Python community is very helpful, and we really help each other, and that's what makes me just cannot going out from this Python community.
This is true. What about in South America, Jules? What are the challenges that we've been facing down in Brazil?
Yeah, I'd like to reinforce the importance of the PSF grants because they're helping both regional and both Python Brazil conferences. It's a huge way to assure diversity and real inclusion because it has helped us to create the Inclusion Fund for Python Brazil to win AfroPython and PyList Brazil joining forces to bring more people from historically underrepresented groups. Another issue that we're facing was due to social isolation because of pandemic COVID-19, because some groups start to split and become more isolated, and there is such an ego from for them it was more important to be core creator or co-founder something, add it to LinkedIn instead to do an actual community, like it's more a shared leadership. There's something more coordinated. Sometimes it's a lot of sweat, it's a lot of blood, it's a lot of tears to make something actually happen, to make create a safe space to assure there's gonna be a healthy conference. And you need to talk, those people need to talk, join forces and say, most of the time, there is no status, there is no, it's not fancy. If you search for it, community is about work, it's about raising leadership. For me, and I noticed in Brazil, to be a great leader, community leader, is to raise other leaderships, let all the people shine. It's about that too as well.
That's amazing. So I think because we do have limited time today, but we do have something to continue later on. What was that? Because Mason was the one who will be organizing, and I'm actually going to be in a panel, and a couple of us will be there too later on.
So that one's on. Okay, yeah, so if you're interested, there's the Community Organizers Summit. It's part of the Hatchery program happening, I believe, in room 317, but don't tell me. Yay, someone told me. From 10:30 to 2:30 today. So if you're interested in getting involved in organizing or learning about how to organize within your community, please join us for the summit. We'd love to have you.
And if you would like to support the group on the community here, I would like to leave Debora to explain.
Yeah. So, well, there's so much these organizers can do, and they're always welcoming new people to help them organize their local communities. So here's how you can get involved with their community. So Jessica's with PyLadies Berlin, Mason with PyTexas, Dima with PyCon APAC, Jules with APIBI with his association Python Brazil, and Abigail with PyLadies Ghana. You can scan these QR codes to help them in their local communities, and your help is truly appreciated. So you should do it. Scan these QR codes and go
Take a
help
screenshot.
them. Yeah. Save it for later.
Maybe if you donate every single one, you'll have an extra ice cream. So thank you, everyone, for joining us at the panel today. And something great is coming up later on soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
Thank you very much for staying with us.
Yeah.